recent years, the question of should we be paying college athletes has been floating around and has been floating around quite frequently, involving the case with DeAndre Ayton that I will discuss later, and also many other things. Now, I'm a college athlete myself, and I understand what it could be like to want to be paid and to want to have more money to pay a sport. But today, I will be arguing against that fact. Today, I'm going to persuade you to be against paying college athletes. The three reasons why we should not be paying college athletes is one, most athletes already receive money from scholarships and grants to either play the sport or because their academic success in high school. Also, it is not the job of a college athlete to be playing that sport. That is what professional sports are for, and there's no point in paying them in college. And it is also not fair to pay college athletes when some of them get paid more than other people would pay to work a full-time job at McDonald's if they're struggling in life. Now that I've introduced you to my topic and what I'll be talking to you about, let me begin with the first point, is that most college athletes already receive money from scholarships and grants. For this speech, we will be focusing on NCAA Division I, II, and III colleges. According to the NCAA, Division I and II schools give out about $2.9 billion in athletic scholarships each year, which this equates to about 150,000 student athletes. That is a lot of student athletes. Again, it's across a lot of colleges in America, but still, $2.9 billion is a staggering amount just for college sports. For Division III, the NCAA states that they cannot give an athletic scholarship out, but they are able to give out an academic scholarship based on, again, academic success in high school or any other things such as the ACT and ACT, which most of us took coming out of high school. Now, I do understand that most of us did play sports in high school, and if you didn't, you knew someone who did. And yes, I do play sports here at Taylor, and I do receive money, but this is not mainly for athletics. It is mostly academic, and my academic success in high school was also not that great. So I received enough money for me to want to come here. Now, there are many tools out there for other financial aid services. As many of you may know, the FAFSA, which all of us filled out, which is the free application for something, don't really remember. According to the FAFSA, in the 2014-15 school year, 2/3 of full-time students were assisted in paying for college. Now, this is a staggering amount because that only leaves 1/3 left of full-time students who pay for college. And most of us here are full-time students, and maybe later in our college career we will not be full-time students, but I doubt any of us are paying full tuition to come to Taylor because that would be a lot of money. You could also apply for local scholarships, such as I did coming out of high school, which entails going to give a speech in front of a group of local peers in your community, or many other things like writing an essay, filling out a resume. Other things like that can help you get more money to go to college, and it makes it easier on you and your family when paying for college. Now, according to Miss Scott Clayton, a professor at Columbia University, only 1/3 of students pay full tuition, like I said earlier. According to College Board, the average cost for a public 2-year college is $3,440, and a public 4-year college is $9,410. And if you're going to a public 4-year out of state, the average is $23,890. Now, like Taylor, which is a private 4-year college, the average cost is $32,410 average. Now, the college choice is a tough decision we all face, but the main reason that we chose a place was due to the fact of money. Money does talk, as most of you know, in jobs, and especially in colleges, and it's a big focus for us and our families to try and wrinkle down that price as much as we can, so that way we're not stuck in student debt for the rest of our lives. Now that I discussed to you about the scholarship and grant side of things, let's talk about how it is not a job to pay college sports. Now, the life of a student athlete is very busy, and me, Aaron, Ben, and Ty all have firsthand experience with this and how busy it can be running from class to meal to maybe another class, then having to go to practice for about an average of 20 hours a week according to Business Insider, which is about 4 hours a day during the week, not including games on the weekends or anything over the weekend. But the life of a student athlete is hectic and busy as ever, and it does suck, but it's what we signed up for, and there's no real going back on it now because we're all kind of committed. And then once you finish with the athletic practice, you have studying late nights with homework and other things, and that can be a nightly process, which a lot of us go through. It does seem like a busy schedule, as most of you may think, but it's very manageable. A lot of us here do a very good job managing our time to where we can study and still make time for friends and other extracurricular activities that we have. The athletes know that it is busy going into college, and if they don't think they can handle it, then there's no point in them even going to do go to play a college sport in the first place. And athletes receive breaks such as other students do, like Thanksgiving break. We all receive a Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, and so on. Spring break and other breaks such of that manner that get us through seeing our family and seeing people we don't see often being so busy with sports. And there are also ways to ease your scheduling. As a busy student athlete, you can take your easier classes in the off season when you're not so busy with practices every day and things like that. And then take your much harder classes during the off season when you're just doing workouts and smaller practices and other things. But you may run into the problem with your major classes, and most of our majors are probably tough and require a lot of extracurricular work outside of classes, such as a teacher going to schools to get experiences with firsthand on or with hands-on with students, and nurses having to get nurse time and practitioner time in the office and things such like that. And a main point that I would like to bring up on the side is, why do we even think we should pay college athletes? We play sports for fun and because of the love of the game, and at least we do that in college. I can understand professional where they focus more on the money side of things, but Ben probably loves baseball. That's why he's playing in college. Aaron probably loves football. Me, Ty, and Saban all love football. That's why we're here today. The love of the sport truly does keep us going, and in professional sports, it's more of the money side, but in college, it's for the fun and love of the game. Now that you know how I feel about college sports and it not being a job, it is time for my final point, which is that it is not fair to pay college athletes. To me, it does not seem logical nor reasonable to pay college athletes and for us to praise those who God gave the ability to play sports in college, and technically just it's just not fair overall. God gives people those gifts for a reason, and not only that, hard work comes into play, and hard work is not only in sports. It's also in regular students who do not play sports, and they put the same amount, if not more work, into their schoolwork than we do, just because we also spend time playing sports, but it's nothing we can't handle. It's what we signed up for, as I've said before. And students work sports mean a lot to the ones that either play it or the ones that watch it or the ones that support it. And it's a way that we get connected, and getting connected through sports could be affected if we get paid, because we'll be focused more on the money side of things instead of the people we love and the people that we hang out with. And to me, the stats say it. Only 2% of high school athletes go on to play a Division I sport. It doesn't seem fair to pay only 2% of the people that come out of high school to play a sport. And it just doesn't seem fair to pay the 7% of people who go and play a varsity sport in high school. A story by ESPN recently stated how the Arizona men's head basketball coach, Archie Miller, was paying DeAndre Ayton, who is now an NBA star, $10,000 a month to play basketball at Arizona. If you think about that, some people don't even make $10,000 a month. Regular people out there don't make that much money. So I think it's stupid to pay someone that much money to just play sport in college. Now that you guys know how I feel about all these 3 points, it's time to wrap it up. I do not think college athletes should be paid. It is not fair. It's unethical. They already receive money from grants and scholarships, and it is not a job to play sports in college. In my survey, most of you said you knew a college athlete or you currently play sports in college. And you agree with me that we should not pay college athletes. But for those of you who do not agree with me, I hope I gave you a new perspective on what it is like to why we should not play college, to not pay college athletes. Thank you.